Yo, what is up, everybody? Another back-to-back video. I just have to, do another follow-up because I just saw the more Pegasus video about Hasan again. And it's funny how I described the curse and it perfectly encapsulate, Hasan's life. He preys on the weak and people he thinks, he can just crush underneath his moral foot. And then he realizes, he gets cursed. He can't, stop talking about him. He's going crazy. He's saying a lot of outlandish things and making a lot of lies, bold claims and lies, and dragging Twitch down with him. And I think that's kind of what he wants because it's kind of like that, thing where you have like a kid that, if he can't, have it, nobody can type of syndrome. And that's basically Hassan in a nutshell, or a hairy nutsack. The craziest thing about it isn't the fact that I have to make a follow-up video on him. It's the fact that he literally is like echoing the talking points that I'm saying, like, oh yeah, 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 as a goal, yeah, I agree with him, I agree with him, yeah, yeah, and I'm just like him, just like him. He's just like he's trying to find common ground and then sneak diss him with the whole well, it's a good idea that he becomes the top position on Twitch so that people can see what the right wing is really like and stuff. And I never got the impression that as in gold, this guy who would play video games for hours at a time is part of the right wing, the lumberjack, you know UFC crowd, fight me in real life type people. It's just funny because the whole creator clash, would be the most popular thing. Pretty much Hassan versus almost any one of his critics around his age. I still want to see him fight the Candyman. Sam Hyde would just dust him, and I think Sam Hyde's younger than him. That's insane. Sam Hyde's in great shape, by the way. Now, would I want to fight Sam Hyde? Now, let me tell you something. Do I want brain damage? Yes. If the answer to the above is yes, then yes. Oh man, Sam Hyde's one scary, scary dude. You could tell that he doesn't really give a shit about this YouTube beef. He doesn't really care about the drama or anything. He has all these side projects. He's the hardest person to interpret, at least to me. And because I follow him semi frequently, it's more or less I see clips off of his restream clip channels or something like that. But yeah, the whole idea of people watching my videos really touches me, because I wanted to make him a positive, video game discussion where people would find um a better opinion than just the corporate ones or people who are just by the numbers. I'm more of a hands-on type approach, so maybe that's a bit better. But then it escalated into me cursing people, and now this it started with politics and now it ends with humiliation for not only Hassan and Twitch, but pretty much his entire side. And it's funny too, how I mentioned tangentially, I mentioned DSV Dark Side Phil, and he's just breaking down so his scheme is right. He pays X amount of money for a game, and then he wants to see ratio wise, right? How much donations he would get. So if it's 100, 200 times, the amount that he paid for, the initial purchase, then it's it's a worthy business venture. Now, when you're thinking about it, you analyze it like that, like a spreadsheet, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But then when you think about it, hey, wait a minute, You're a graying old man sitting in a room with like all these kids, uh, toys and whatever, right? LED screens lighting up, showing these like, cartoonish Nintendo things from like, back in the day. And yeah, you know, he doesn't hesitate to throw out cuss words and like, trash his audience or whatever for a difference in opinion. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I find that like very that contrast very like it's like turn on, you see his channel, he's like smiling and everything is like laughing, ha 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 ha, and then like he reads the comments and then somebody says something he doesn't like, and you thought to yourself, well, hey, isn't this like a kid's channel or whatever, like YouTube whatever friendly, and he just starts like throwing out the f bomb, and it's just like it's hard to watch, but at the same time it's like entertaining because again, he's like saying, yeah, if I get these games, like these really long games, right? Nobody wants to see me play them, right? And basically what he's saying is that like he wants to do all the side content, do get all the collectibles, whatever, right? And when you think about it, like laterally, he's trying to extend the time that he's playing the game, right? Whether you consider that artificially or not, right? Because it's like, oh, it's part of the game. But at the same time, is it really? And if you're doing this as like a career choice, right? Wouldn't it venture I guess to have like a stabilized, streaming schedule rather than okay, I'm gonna stream this thing. What do you guys think? I'm gonna stream this thing. What do you guys think? Like every single time, you have to let your audience decide. Like if it was that like hectic of a schedule and you've been doing this so long, why don't you just hold polls and then that's it? And I think he does do them, but why would you trust those polls? Why would you adhere to this nonsense? It's like it's kind of cool how like these guys are watching my video and they're like picking up on like the things I say about them and trying to alter their mannerisms, but inevitably falling back upon bad habits until they just enter the curse of Azure. One day they're just streaming as they do, and then someone in chat, said something that had them thinking, I am a good person. I am a good person. But they're just chilling in that shower, literally, cold water, shivering, and they never take their clothes off. Because they're just that good of a person. Oh man. And like, oh, there's this other guy too that's like hilarious, and I think he might have like listened to me or not, maybe not, but like, it would have been funny because it's like I think I mouthed off against him because he was like supporting the whole Palestinian cause, like he was getting violent with him too. It's just like, oh my, these Israelis are killing the poor Palestinians. I was just like, yo, dude, shut the fuck up, man. You're such a fucking cuck. And number two, you know for a fact, like everybody knows this, that the Israelis, for as many faults as they have, like they're not responsible for this. Like it or not. Like you know what I mean? Like, some Jews can be cheap. Some Jews like to lie to you because they're lawyers and shit. Some Jews, are this, some Jews are that. But number one thing is like you can take time and extend it to like infinity, and you'll probably never get Jewish people that'll do the same thing as the Palestinians did to them. Just just throwing that out there. And in fact, I'll even go a step further. There's a lot of other people around the world who frown on that kind of behavior. Maybe not everybody, but most people do. And the idea that this is the right side of history and You're getting jealous of Asmongold, and you're trying to use his appearance to like. Don't you get it though? Hasan, like he knows. He knows everything. He's one step, two, three, four steps ahead of you. Like he's so many steps ahead of you, dude. He's like a centipede, and you're like a retarded kangaroo. It's like jumping into like walls and shit. Because you're just like, you damn racist. Oh man. And I saw this like stream from like Tectone. And hey, I got something against Tectone. You don't insult Christ, dude. Tectone. I used to like, shout you out and stuff, but I don't know about that. Apparently you did that, and that's not cool, man. Because it's like you know what it is. It's the lowest hanging fruit, and everybody fucking does it, and it just doesn't make any sense anymore. It's like why? Why are you doing this? Because they let you do it. That's why. I'm pretty sure everybody else who has like religious beliefs and stuff, the second you start mouthing off against their religious beliefs, they're gonna get angry with you. It's just because forgiveness and like their religion teaches them that you're gonna take advantage of it. No, man. I don't give a fuck. Like, this is how you have like problems in this world, where like you could have easily said it was solvable. It's just people wanted to be ignorant from the get go, and instead of just like rationalizing, hey, look, if it's if it means this much to you, it probably means something to them as well, right? But like, see, like guys like Hasan say, like the people who made content off of him are like fucking yes, that's right. He's talking about specifically me because I'm like I told people, I don't want your any like praise or anything or like or any money or like followers, nothing. I'm just doing this for fun. And like this is probably like the biggest problem that most like big ass YouTubers and people who make a career out of this bullshit. Because it's like, oh no, my worldview is being shattered. My guy plays video games. What the fuck is this armored core? Yo, I dare you to step on armored core, Hassan. Throw. You could put like your Palestinian colors on your mech. I saw somebody do that once. And I hate that he destroyed him. Ah man, but you know for a fact that like Hassan is just like, showing off the fact that like he can't get banned, he can't be ridiculed, he can't be anything because of like his whole affiliation with Twitch. It's most likely going to be like one of those things where he's going to extend that like, privilege to his like close knit friends. So let's say everybody in that Ethan Klein, slander video. The how you can't even call it a content cop. What do you even call that? Like, it's like a content flop. It's like you guys are like flopping around doing that floppy dance, putting that L up to your head. You got Frogan frying my brain. Don't worry, Frogan. I fry my brain on a regular basis thanks to you. Yeah, I am a recovering Frogan addict. No, but for real though, like I think the biggest issue that people have with like the outlandish claims made by the left like repeatedly is what it leads to, like this whole incel movement being hijacked by the idea of being on the right side of history, brought to you by like Disney and Marvel movies. And that's actually kind of true when you think about it. Because it's like, like I was looking into that guy. He's like in the Mandalorian. Like, dude, I watched Star Wars, um, the new one with like when they brought back all the original characters, and I just saw the first one, and dude, it made me like fucking I hated it. Every you see Harrison Ford like phoning in all of his lines. You see Carrie Fisher sounding absolutely nothing like she did before. And then you see Luke Skywalker and he says absolutely nothing. And these are the guys who want to give you like a moral lesson in life, want to tell you right from wrong. I grew up with me and like my older brother, just like so much Star Wars things and everything. For what? For what, my friends? Well, you know, Hasan is an endless content farm, though. Pretty much to me and everybody else. By the way, shout outs to more Pegasus and all the young bloods, you know, Achido, Sensitive Society, homies keeping it real, just like, yo, keep styling on like Hasan, like everybody else. And obviously, like, you know, Aspen Gold for holding that top spot. The ultimate gamer, unlike Hasan. Alright, see you, I see you everybody.